Well, of course, I'm trying to keep up as much as possible with the coronavirus, what's going on with it there. I think one question to ask is, as far as the Communist Chinese Party, do they really represent the Chinese people, or do they really represent China? Or are they more basically doing the biddings of the internationalist communist um, party, doing what they want? So I stumbled across something very interesting, a book or a novel or a short story written by a Californian communist named Jack London. It was actually published clear back in 1910. Now, this correlates directly with the coronavirus as far as what's happening today. I'm going to read you just a plot summary, of course. This is actually coming from Wikipedia. Keep in mind, once again, this was actually written in 1907, published in 1910, okay? Under the influence of Japan, China modernizes and undergoes its own version of the Meiji reforms in the 1910s. In 1922, China breaks away from Japan and fights a brief war that culminates in the Chinese annexation of the Japanese possessions of Korea, Formosa, and Manchuria. Over the next half century, China's population steadily grows, and eventually migration overwhelms European colonies in Asia. Now, here's where it gets really super interesting, okay? The United States and the other Western powers launch a biological warfare campaign against China, resulting in the total destruction of China's population. The few survivors of the plague being killed out of hand by European and American troops, and China then being colonized by the Western powers. This opens the way to a joyous epic of splendid mechanical, intellectual, and art output. In the 1980s, war clouds once more gather between Germany and France, and the story ends with the nations of the world solemnly pledging not to use the same techniques that they had used against China. So, considering this was written by a communist back in 1907, published in 1910, is this coronavirus? Is this something that is decimating the Chinese people right now? Is this something that's been in the works by the international communists for over 100 years now? I mean, it's a question worth asking. I mean, obviously, as well, we have reports coming from Wendy.com. Check it out you can look it up for yourself. Extremely high amounts of sulfur dioxide emissions coming from the Wuhan area that would actually point toward the burning of massive amounts of organic matter. So we already know that basically the coronavirus victims who die are basically being sent directly to the crematory. But another question is, are they burning people alive? I mean, considering they're not just quarantining victims of the virus, they are arresting. There's a crackdown occurring right now of political dissidents in China. You see all these videos of all these Chinese people. You see the police showing up, dragging people away, throwing them in metal boxes on trucks. You have people these people are getting dragged away against their will, or literally screaming and fighting, resisting, and kicking, and they know what's coming. I think. I mean, there's been protests happening before this virus started, breaking out. So, I just kind of wonder, the people of China. I mean, I think they're getting fed up with the Chinese Communist Party, and they've been trying to rise up, and this crackdown very well, along with the virus itself, very well could lead potentially to the downfall of the Chinese Communist Party, or at least the appearance of it. Anyway, so take that however you wish, of course. So I encourage you to go look this up. I think it's actually maybe on Google Books. I'm going to try to look up Jack London, The Unparalleled Invasion of... That's actually in McClure's magazine. Volume 35, Number 3, July 1910, pages 308 to 315. So maybe I'll leave a link or something in the description. So, all right, I'll catch you later.